Welcome back to another episode of Let's Be Real. I'm Tara.
And I'm Sheri.
And we're here to talk about something kind of fun today.
Yeah.
Break it up a little bit.
Yeah, this one actually really, you hit the nail on the head earlier when you said it cracks me up for all the wrong reasons.
Yeah, so if you're looking for something uplifting and like genuinely coddling, today's episode may not be helpful.
Yes.
But if you're looking to laugh at yourself a little bit or laugh
Yeah.
at like our mental health crisis, and
Right.
if you're someone who's like, if I don't laugh, I'll cry, stay tuned.
Absolutely.
This is it.
That's my motto. If I don't laugh, I'll cry, right? That the idea is that humor is such an amazing coping skill.
It's a medicine, man.
And sometimes, it's a masking skill, right? But for me, if there's many times when I've said that same statement, if I don't laugh, I'll cry, right? So you can choose which one you want, right? We can sit and fester and all of it, or we can laugh and say, okay, you know what, this too shall pass.
I had too many clients last year. I think there was a TikTok that went around, and it was this sound. It was this British guy going, but it's not funny, is it? And they're like, this is you. When we're like, we think we're bantering and we're having a laugh. And I'm like, oh, what's going on there?
Right. Yeah.
I'm like, I know what you're doing. I'm here for the ride, but wait a minute. Can we tune into that?
Let's come back to that, right? So these what we're going to talk about today, these disappointing affirmations that, for just to have it out there, we did steal this, but
this is a very popular Instagram account.
Yes.
I took this idea from my TikTok feed. There's another podcast who I'd be happy to name. It's the I've Had It podcast.
Okay.
These ladies are hilarious. Highly recommend. They don't know we exist, so I mean, go listen to them after this. But I aspire to have a quality podcast like they do. They are some funny fucking ladies. I appreciate them.
Awesome. I appreciate that too.
And they brought this account to my attention. The Instagram account is literally called Disappointing Affirmations. Any of my clients or any of my friends who have heard me talk about affirmation work, I used to be gung-ho affirmations. And then I was like, this is dumb. That's not how this works. And now I'm back on the bandwagon.
Well, that's kind of life, right? We go back and forth. And one of my things that I say all the time is that the simple things in life are the things that work the best, but they're the hardest to do, right? So like a positive affirmation just sounds like, oh, well, that's too easy, Sheri. If it was that easy, wouldn't we all be okay and we wouldn't be seeing you? I'm like, well, yeah, it is kind of that easy, but it's not, it's not easy. It's that simple. Simple doesn't mean easy.
Right.
Okay. Because we're wired to look for the negative for that survival.
Exactly. And there was that.
Why it's funny. Sorry.
And exactly. This is why we could get some entertainment out of this.
For sure.
And we're not going to take this to a reflective state today. I don't think this is just for banter and fun.
For banter and fun, but also, like that's what we do. We do everything as a reflective state, right?
Yeah.
So I think it might be good to go in that realm. Who knows, right? Like you said something earlier about if you came here to be coddled. I don't think anybody came here to be coddled.
No, you're way too many episodes in
right?
to expect that from us.
Nobody comes to my office to be coddled. They're not going to get that from me for sure. So
I guess these don't invalidate anything, but they kind of, they affirm, right? They affirm the state that you're in.
Of course.
And then we make fun of the state that you're in.
Right, because so many times what we're saying and the state we're in is bullshit lie. Right? Like we have said before.
Exactly.
For me, I think fear is a lie. And for you, you're saying that's a warning sign. And I get that, right? It is a warning sign. But also fear is telling you that there's shit out there that you should be scared of. And most of the time, that's stuff we've made up.
Yes.
So, and we don't even know if it's real.
Right. Valid, but unreasonable.
Exactly. So that's why you take these to the ridiculous to show you that, oh, you know what? That's not real. Okay. So let's take and also the positive affirmations are sometimes not real either, right?
Yeah.
Not everything is roses or
Correct.
shit. There's stuff in between.
That's exactly my journey of going away from affirmations and back into them. I was expecting too much from affirmations when I started moving away from that work. Affirmations don't fix anything. Exactly. You're not in front of me to be fixed. But if we can mitigate damage, That's what this is for. So humor,
Right.
mitigating damage.
Changing your mindset, right? That's what we're here for. Yeah.
Definitely. I guess we'll swap the iPad back and forth. We can read a few. I'll just go ahead and start with the one that's on their story today. This is amazing. You're better than you think you are, which is a lovely affirmation.
Yeah.
But you know that's not the end of it with
Of
this
course
account.
not.
Not by much, but hey, at least it's something.
I love that. That's great.
Another one, I read this one to my client the other day. Have a panic attack. You've earned it. Cute little panic
That
attack.
is the greatest. I love that.
You want to read
Yes.
me?
Yes.
Have
Okay,
at
so let's
it.
see what we got. Oh, that one's a little deep, so we're not going to go with that one. Okay.
We'll warm up to that
Yeah.
one.
All right. That one I don't understand. Okay. Wow, this is great. You are filled with so much potential. What a fucking waste. Now, that sounds like a lot of people. Wow, we're just going to leave that one alone. Okay.
It cuts so good.
It does, right? All right. Things don't work out for a reason. The reason was you. I mean, really.
I like that one lot.
That's for so many people who don't have that self-awareness. Yeah. Just so you know, damn it, it was you, okay? You're the reason.
And it's still okay. Hi, it's me.
It's me.
I'm the problem.
I love it. Okay, stop overthinking. You are the only one who cares.
Oh, I need that one written in marble somewhere.
Right? Put that one in the kitchen. Stop overthinking. You are the only one who cares. I love it. All right, so I'm passing it over. Let's see what you got.
I opened it on my phone, so you
okay.
are welcome to hold on to that one. This is along the same lines as the panic attack one, maybe just because this speaks to me. Have a meltdown as a treat.
As a treat. I love it.
A
right?
cheeky little treat.
Well, that goes back to the same one, right? The anxiety one. You deserve it.
You deserve it. It's a
right?
little
You've
break.
held it together all this time. Now let that shit go.
I've been building up for this moment.
Right?
No, bad. Disappointed. That's what you get for expecting things.
Ooh. Okay.
Now that one's a little. That's not funny. That's just like, ugh.
Right?
You
well,
got
that's
me.
true. We talk about expectations all the time, right? Okay.
Let me see. Where's another one? Earmuffs for those who don't like it when I cuss. You're doing the best that you can, which is pretty fucking sad.
Yeah. You had one job, dude. You had one job.
Oh my gosh.
Did you just say earmuffs for those who worry that you cuss?
Uh-huh.
Wow, you're watching the wrong show, I think.
Thank you for the awareness. You're right. And also this episode is not for the, let's just say, the weak-hearted. This is
you're not weak,
thick and
bitch. That's why you're listening to us.
Love that. That's a positive affirmation.
You're not weak, bitch. That's why you're listening to us. That's right. So get out there and not be weak.
Oh my gosh, that reminds me. Just that phrase, "you're not weak, bitch," reminds me of this DJ artist that I listened to, and I think he was in Jersey City. The TikTok that I saw, and he gets on a mic, has his little setup, his table. He just like yells songs at you, but they're amazing lyrics. They're like, "You're late to work. Who gives a fuck?"
That's right. Oh yeah, that's he's like that. Yes, I've seen that one. He's awesome. That's right.
I'm late. And you're just like, yeah,
that's right. I am. Get over it.
You ain't gonna fire me. There's no one else to work.
That's right. That's how all the teachers are feeling right now. Go ahead and fire me, bitch.
That's right.
Who's got to replace me?
All right, here's another one. Just because it didn't work out doesn't mean you failed. You successfully fucked it up.
I love it.
We call that cognitive reframing.
That's right. Exactly.
There is a word that we could put that in our clinical notes.
There you go. I like it. It's all about those damn notes.
Oh, this one. It's not even funny. This one just makes me pause and sigh and reflect. You only live once, which is honestly way more than enough.
Wow. Agreed.
That's like the intrusive thought I had in the episode
that's sad.
that came out the other day. Oh, some of these. Oh, gosh. Oh, I like this one. It gets easier. eventually you just stop giving a fuck.
There you go. It's true.
Oh, that's a fantastic
Have you
one.
read that book?
That's not disappointing.
Right? Not at all. The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. Have you read that book?
Top 3 of all time for me.
Right.
There's
That's
a
when
sequel.
Oh, there is. I need to read it.
Everything's fucked.
Oh,
That book.
there you go. That goes right along with this.
Do you want to read any more?
Let's just do one more. Oh, here we go. You are never alone. You always have that voice in your head telling you that you suck. And that, if that isn't the one for us to end on, I think, because that one's almost too sad to be funny.
It is.
Right? Because how often do we really say that? So I want you to stop saying that. Right?
I'm begging you to let me say one more.
Okay, sure.
I
go
saw
ahead.
this one yesterday and I was like, oh, no one is coming to save you. You are the adult. I'm so sorry. You're the best equipped person for the job.
What does
Yikes.
that say for all of us, right? That I think, okay, so I'm 48 years old, and there's days that I ask on a regular, how am I the adult in this room? I'm not sure that I'm okay with that. How am I the adult in this room? It makes me really scared that I'm the one that, like, when I hear that age, I think of my parents.
Sure.
But my parents are 80 years old. So that, I'm like, I still don't equate myself with the 40-something
relatable
age, right? My brain is back somewhere else. Like, there's a meme that says something about, like, I've been waiting for mom to make dinner, and then I realized, shit, I'm the mom, you know? Like, I am the mom. I am the adult. I'm the, whoa. That's very heavy.
I'm relied on.
I'm relied on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I relate to that. I don't know if it's reassuring or not to hear like, I've heard it from many different walks of life. No one really knows what they're doing. Is that a disappointing affirmation or is it reassuring?
I'm not sure. I guess we're all, I guess if that's the end of the statement, then that's very disappointing. If there's something else that goes along with it, you know,
Well,
like,
what does it mean? What does that statement mean? I think,
well, nobody else knows what they're doing, so we're all faking it, I guess. Is that what it means to me? Or am I just trying to find an ending?
but are we faking up? Are we faking down? This is where imposter syndrome comes in for a lot of people I work with, where they're like, I'm not supposed to be here. I failed up. And I'm like, that just sounds like up to me.
Right, because who told you that?
Yeah.
And I think that's a question that I ask a lot. So who told you that you weren't worth this? Or who told you that you weren't good enough, right? Somewhere along the line, somebody told you that, either with those words or without, right? That's that you are never alone. You always have that voice in your head telling you that you suck, right? Somebody told you that.
Yeah.
That's
we
why
didn't
this
come
one
up with language by ourselves.
That's why this one to me is the one that stuck the hardest, right? That I can't even find to be funny. But I mean, nobody ever really told me I sucked, but that's one that we all have that kind of voice in our head that we're not good enough. And that's why all of those disappointing affirmations are all humorous to people, because we all ultimately feel that way.
Yeah, there's something universal to these
very
shitty
relatable.
scenarios that we find our brains in. Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that helplessness, hopelessness, feeling like we put ourselves, or not that we put ourselves, that we're on an island by ourselves, or that we're not doing anything right. I work with that a lot, which is, it's disheartening, right?
Absolutely.
But then there's accounts like this that can remind you that, okay, well, you're not on an island by yourself.
Exactly.
This account has almost 2 million followers.
Right. For what reason? Right. For that.
Well, it's not because no one feels these things.
Exactly.
Right?
That's for the exact reason of what you're saying, right? That we're feeling that way. And that's why it's so relatable. And that's why it's funny, because at the same time we realize how sad it is to feel that way, or how, oh God, thank God I'm not the only one. Like when you go to a comedy show, and the reason why most of those things are funny is because they're so relatable. Yeah. They're usually off the wall, sound ridiculous, but everybody can relate. And that's why they're funny. The things that fall flat, we can't relate to.
Well, how many hyper positive or toxically positive comedians are out there?
None.
I don't think there is one. I always think Jim Gaffigan, but he makes fun of things all the time.
Right.
Makes fun of himself for being fat or eating like junk food, and I'm like, those aren't positive things, right?
Right. Well, and because we all relate to those things too, right? Having 5 kids I mean, I can't relate to that, but the whole idea is because he has 5 kids and he's always talking about that.
Yeah.
But I can relate to the idea that sounds freaking crazy to me.
Yeah.
Right. I think the average person can feel like, wow, that's a lot.
Yeah.
So that's why it's funny. But
or if you've surpassed that amount, you get it. You're in a different.
Yeah.
Like,
I only
lane
have
of
2,
humor.
and that sounds like way too much.
I have 0, and I'm like, this
One
is
sounds too
hilarious
much, right?
because I just can't even
imagine, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that puts us all in. It's funny. It makes us feel good that we're not the only one. That it's relatable, and I think part of therapy too is that when people realize, by the way, this is normal, right? That I'm not saying that you want to keep feeling this way, but this is a very normal reaction to something, right?
Yeah.
When you have something like PTSD, that's when you're reacting to something that's totally not normal for you to react that way, right? Like the house is on fire and or you think it is, and that's how you're reacting, and really everything's really okay. So that's the difference, right? So this is bringing out the fire in all of us, but ultimately I think that this is funny because it is relatable, but at the same time I would love to use these kind of things with my clients because it shows that there's another side.
Yeah.
Right? That this is what we're actually thinking.
Yeah.
But how do we go in the middle?
Well, replacing those, I don't know what year those posters came out, the hang in there, kitten on a branch posters, just slowly replacing those with the phrase, eventually you won't give a fuck anymore.
Exactly.
That's fantastic.
Exactly. That'll go over really well.
Put that in my dentist's office real quick.
For sure, right? If you sit here long enough, you're going to be numb and you won't give a fuck, right?
Yeah, next time, TMI, next time I get an IUD, like, instead of giving me that, like, picture on the ceiling, just give me a disappointing affirmation.
That's right.
That might actually get me through it.
That's right. This way you won't get knocked up. Have fun. I'm just kidding. That's not disappointing. Sorry.
I did repost something that said going into 2024, still not pregnant. Like,
there you go. For some people, that's not good. For you, that's good.
For me, that's exactly what my goal is.
That is your goal, right? So I think that also puts in perspective that not everybody's goals are the same.
And this is totally a sidebar, but when you were mentioning not mentally feeling what your age is for whatever your responsibilities are, being relied on, all of that stuff, it makes me think of if my friends tell me that they're married or they're getting pregnant, and I'm like, what are you going to do? It's a teenage pregnancy. I haven't been a teenager in a while.
And they're not teenagers either.
No, but I'm still in that mentality of like,
oh my gosh, what are you going to do?
How are you going to tell your mom?
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So that because that's not your goal, right? So I love that it gives us perspective.
Yeah, I just don't feel like I've really grown up as fast as my age told me I'm supposed to. And I mean,
there's no rule for that.
Correct.
Yeah.
I'm catching up to that,
yeah.
Right? Like there's this cognitive lag there of what is 31 supposed to be and where am I? And those things exist together because I am me.
Well, I mean, you figure there's that statement of old soul for a reason, right? And I know people that when this person and I were in our 20s, I would constantly say, gosh, you're an 80-year-old man, right? Like he was not he did not act like a normal, what I thought would be a 20-year-old. And honestly, I didn't necessarily either, right? So I don't know that there is, like, we have an idea of what should be. And that's why for me, it's so hard to be like, what? I'm the adult here? Hold on, but I don't think like that. I'm not the adult. Somebody else should be taking care of this nonsense or should be responsible.
I didn't ask for all that.
I didn't ask for this, right? My subscription to adulthood, I thought, ended. It's one of those that just keep coming.
I
there's
thought
no cutting
I let it
off.
expire and it just keeps showing up.
Right. It's that membership that will never end. Well, hopefully. But then, yeah. So you have people that in their 20s are like, whoa, this is not where I'm supposed to be. I'm supposed to be 75, right? That's my my mentality. They're
Mhm.
the old person inside. And then for me, I'm still 15 in my head.
Yeah.
Some people might say I'm the 12-year-old boy with my humor sometimes, but whatever. I'm
that
not
fits.
I'm not the 48-year-old woman for
Yeah.
sure, but in that mentality. But anyway, so
Right. Who's setting, like you said, who told you? Who's setting these rules?
exactly.
That I can't find the handbook that I signed.
I
can't-
surely didn't.
Nope. I
Yeah.
decided the closest to that I got to was being a citizen and agreeing to having a driver's license and doing all that stuff. I agreed to all that. Those
Right.
are legal things. Now, in terms of what boundaries and limits are set on us societally, didn't sign up for that.
Agreed. Well, it's the same thing that they say ignorance to the law does not make you innocent,
Mhm.
right? So I think that's the same thing, right? You signed the driver's license. Did you look at what it said you were signing for? Probably not.
Well, yeah, there's the fine print on our driver's license that says we
Mhm.
automatically consent to any kind of like sobriety checks. And
Right. How many people actually know that that's what they
Mhm.
signed, right?
Mhm.
And so many other things that we sign, like you talk about those handbooks, right? Like when you start a job and you have to say you signed the you read it. Nobody reads that damn thing, and they send that paper in and get on about their business.
Oh yeah.
It comes out when you want to know what your PTO is
Mhm.
and when you're going to get paid for this.
Oh
and
yeah, I just checked
you
the
can't
important
screw me like
chapters.
that. Oh shoot, I signed you could, right?
Yeah, exactly that. Terms and conditions.
Oh yeah, nobody reads that, right?
Yeah.
And they make it in tiny print for a reason.
Mhm.
And so anyway, but I think that when we figure out what we really want versus what's expected of us, they are never hand in hand, or most times they're not.
Yeah.
So I like the idea of what you said about expectations. It was one of these, but expectations.
Disappointed?
Yeah.
That's what you get for having expectations.
That's right. Because you know what? Stop having expectations. It doesn't mean people don't have qualities that they need to live up to, but
Mhm.
you're looking for an outcome that they don't even know about.
Right.
Right. We didn't
Right.
give them the memo.
That's
So,
and then reference back to our boundaries episode for that one.
yes.
Because what's your responsibility is yours, what is others is theirs. And only if it's communicated is it worth being upset about.
Absolutely. Right. And if you can't handle the rest, you just come to me. I'll help you with that. We'll do some EMDR and
Keep
get
us
back
in
down to the reason. There you
business.
go.
I love discovering this account. I was too excited to send it to you to be like,
Yes.
we're talking about this.
I think we should probably, say one at the beginning of each show and just kind of go from
That's
there.
a good idea.
If you like that idea, let us know. If you really like this idea of disappointing affirmations, or if there, send us other ones that you see that
yeah.
you're like, oh, guys, you should really talk about this.
Mm-hmm. I like that. I like that idea. We can give like a little bit of a warm up into what we want to talk about.
Yeah.
Connect it to whatever we're talking about in that episode. I don't mind that idea.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, we come up with this at the last minute anyway. So help us. If there's something that you want to be able to hear us talk about or banter over, send us.
We're all ears. So
Absolutely.
you know where to find us on all of our social accounts. Links are in our bio and in our description. Let's Be Real, Sheri and Tara on all platforms, including YouTube. We're definitely getting our YouTube engagement up. So I'm excited about that.
Yes.
But yes, we do this for you. So tell us what you want to hear.
Yeah.
Please and thank you.
Right. We definitely need people to like, share, and subscribe.
Mhm.
We need more people to hear us and get what we're saying. And every time I hear a new person say, "Oh my gosh, I love your podcast," it makes me so happy.
Oh my gosh, yes.
That we're not just kind of speaking into the wind here.
Yeah.
So that people are listening. Yeah.
We're getting our downloads. We're doing the thing.
Yeah, cool.
Well, we appreciate you guys for listening as always, and we will catch you next week for another episode.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.